This is the S7 Elephant keyboard, and let me just say that it's an absolute fucking unit. This keyboard is designed by Jackie and has been ran twice. This board is part of the last run done in October of 2019. The Elephant is a super chonky 65% keyboard with an extra function column on the left-hand side. It's great for showing off artisans. The keyboard was priced at $350 during the group buy, not including shipping and PayPal fees, and had 100 available units. This is pretty typical for individual RAN buys. The kit includes a top case, bottom case, plate, diffuser acrylic for the LED indicator, and brass weight. The case color was available in E-white, E-black, gray, dark purple, and silver. This color is E-white, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It actually has a different texture than other E-white boards I've owned. It's more slick and has a bit of a sheen. It seems like it's more scratch resistant due to the finish. I haven't tested it, nor do I want to try. But here's a scratch on the Satisfaction 75 that I made because I was really clumsy. Big sad. This keyboard was built with a palm plate material and Gateron black inks lubed with 205G0 and filmed with TX films. I built this board on stream, and I do stream every Monday and Wednesday evenings and Saturday mornings on Twitch TV/Mentorly. Palm is a type of plastic. I'm not a huge fan of palm. There are only certain situations where I really like it. It's typically just too flexy for me. I found that the palm material sounds great everywhere except for the spacebar. Of course, this is all down to personal preference as well. I really appreciate this little elephant engraving or branding on the plate that also borders the heat shrink on the PCB underneath it. As a huge fan of SA spacebar Thok, I found that this keyboard has a quite deep, muted thud for the bottom row keys, which is actually really interesting to me because the keys on the higher rows are quite clacky. I speculate that the spacebar length and material of the plate along with the screw placement of the plate causes the spacebar area of the plate to be more flexy, since this sound is usually a result of softer and flexier plate and PCB designs. Also, the plate itself is not extra thick. It is the standard thickness of a plate, which I believe is around 2 millimeters. I think I personally would prefer a brass or copper plate, or maybe even FR4 since that's stiffer. This board probably has the chonkiest bezels of any board that I have ever built, and I kind of love it. I'm very into the thick bezels. Arguably boring industrial look, which I know is not a universally liked aesthetic, but to me it's very comforting and pleasing to the eye. I think the roundness of the corners also just adds to a very nice pleasing feeling. There's something about this board that invokes comforting and cozy vibes. Just don't drop it on yourself because you'll probably break something. The top case has a very nice faint curvature to it that adds the soft, gentle aesthetic of the entire board. The keyboard is pretty difficult to pick up due to the smooth, silky finish of the E-white coating, and it does not have any cutouts for easy handling. It's also really heavy. I would estimate it to be around 7 or 8 pounds, maybe more. It's definitely heavier than my little dog Olive, who weighs 8 pounds, so maybe heavier. I don't think this board is meant to be picked up though, so as long as you're not moving it much, it shouldn't be that big of an issue to not be able to get a grip on it. One thing that I do really appreciate is that the typing angle of this keyboard is pretty flat. I don't know the exact angle since it's not listed, but if I had to guess, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 degrees. I'm very used to typing on a flat MacBook laptop since that's what I use for work, and I know I own a bunch of keyboards, but I always move around while I'm working, and I'm honestly much too lazy to carry around a keyboard with me. So I'm very used to using a flat keyset profile and a flat typing angle. Everything about the Elephant S7, despite the fact that it has giant, absolutely massive bezels, is somehow just very super gentle and soft. One thing that I always comment on that is a very much nice to have is to have a fitted USB hole. This keyboard actually still uses a USB mini, which I really just like, and I don't think I've ever seen a fitted USB mini port, but again, it's always just a little detail that just makes your board seem a little bit more high-end. Honestly, after using the custom injected feet provided with the Adeli, I've become a huge fan of wider, softer custom shapes for feet. I didn't install the feet on this keyboard, but as you can see, the round shape indicates that it's the typical clear, occasionally turns pink feet that are provided with most keyboard kits. The color of the feet on my satisfaction have turned a very actually pretty nice pink, but it was definitely clear when I installed them. Custom injected feet are much pricier, so it does make sense to keep the cost of the board down. But if you're someone who plans to design a few boards and can commit to one style of feet, it might be worth considering looking into. Again, I am not a keyboard designer, I design keycaps, so I'm not 100% clear on the difficulty and pricing involved with custom injected feet, but I think that it does add a very nice touch, especially with higher end custom keyboards. The brass weights in the first round was PVD coated, but the second round has a clear E coating, which has a matte or eggshell finish. While I do really love shiny finishes, I think the matte finish softens out the machining marks of the elephant engraving. Compared to the round 1, the machining marks in the engraved section is nowhere near as prominent. So there are definitely pros and cons with the finish. If this was a personal board, I would probably try and polish the weight so that the engraved portion remains matte and the top surface becomes mirror polished. It's a really pretty effect that happens with sandblasted and coated weights. I've done a video before on how to polish brass, and I'll leave a link somewhere for you if you're interested in the process. I've mounted MT3 Susu Watari on this board, and I'll do a quick sound test now. Like always, I've recorded a sound test of other profiles. This time, 4 of them since I now have GMK, CAT, SA, and MT3, and I will have that video uploaded on Wednesday. Despite some nitpicks and the sound of the spacebar, I really do like this board. I think it's really unique and different. Something about the aesthetic and the way it sits on my desk. It's just really comfy and very pretty. I see so many boards now that some of them blur together in my memory and some don't stand out, but this is one board that I've built and tried and have felt really, really wowed by, to the point where I kind of want my own. That wraps up this Elephant S7 review. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please take care. See ya next time.